Baby, make like I do with the punches and roll me home.
Yeah, another episode. Toking with Topher. We made it. This is episode number 8.
We're here.
I can't even believe it. I can't believe we made it. 8 episodes. They haven't banned us from the internet yet.
They're working on it. You just got out of jail.
I did just get out of Facebook jail.
On your personal account.
It was brutal. I got 2. They were temporary tattoos. 2 teardrops, but we washed them off. They already came off. So
They
I was tough for like a couple of days after I got out of Facebook jail, but I've been really cautious. I don't want to post anything, because I'm scared. I don't want to get kicked out again. Like I don't know what's going to happen to me.
The power
next.
that it has.
Because they keep threatening me every time. Like, hey, you'll be completely restricted for life.
Fuck them.
So how many email addresses can I come up with to get an account is my question.
We could come up with a bunch for Toking with Topher.
I'll go digging back to my Hotmail account. At Hotmail.
I don't want to create them now, just in case.
Right, you just got backups.
Just 1 through 100.
Just start flagging.
Today's
Today's guest, you might be familiar with. It's David Tucker from Dungeons of Dank. Dungeons of Dank Genetics. They do some fine ass weed, which we've talked about a couple times on our show. And this time we're brought him back because we did the episode where you talked to us about starting to grow in our outdoor grow. And we went through the steps, and some of our viewers and listeners went out and applied it to their gardens and stuff. And they've been following along the garden that you've been helping me with. You and Scott have been helping me with my garden, so they've been following along with the nutrients and the day-to-day stuff. And we thought we would do an update on
where you're at,
where we're at, what you should be doing, what you should be looking at this point in a plant. We got some extra footage we'll be rolling today, showing you how to do some different stuff.
I believe they called that B-roll footage.
Oh yeah,
There was a name for it.
Yeah.
We did B-roll.
We did learn. We got a couple
Production.
things. We did get a couple things that I wanted to shout out about, and that is happy anniversary to Scott and Marla Gertken. They do
20 years.
Marla Jean CBD products, and I don't know if you guys have checked this out, but they have a website. They've got a really great cream. My wife does this cream that you guys have.
Is it the serum, the moisturizing serum?
Yeah. She does. She's been coming out with these different masks, And
the face mask.
This is a honey one, and this is the cucumber one. I don't even know what's going on in your face. All I know is my dog wants to lick your face very badly.
They smell good. They do.
So if you want to check out some really quality products, go check out Marla Jean. They've got some great stuff online available. You got a website on that?
Yeah, marlajean420.com.
See how easy that is?
Pretty easy.
I like it when it's that easy. It's kind of like
Pretty
Toker.com.
simple, yeah.
It's pretty easy. Well, you know what? It's Tuesday. And Teal Tuesday. I like Teal Tuesday. So Teal Tuesday, today we've got
Did you bring your glasses?
I didn't. You know what though? There's
You
the
don't
beauty
wear
of it.
glasses, do you?
Because we don't
We need a magnifying glass.
well, we don't do it live, so the beauty is I get to go back with the magnifying glass and really see it, and then I put the real stuff on there and be like, dude, he didn't say that at all. He was off by 10%. Okay, so I got a jungle pie, which I like. I had the jungle pie earlier. These are half-gram pre-rolls, and it's 26.10. I think it's 26.10.
Damn.
But we'll see. We're going to smoke it. We're going to light it up, and we're going to smoke it.
Jungle
but
pie.
we're going to talk about, also while we're doing this, we're going to talk about growing, where we're at. We went on and looked at my plants earlier, and they're growing quite well. How long we're in the season, you think? Like 6 weeks? 8 weeks? 8 weeks?
8 weeks.
8 weeks into the outdoor grow?
No, we're 6. We was like second week of May, right? When you planted? Yeah, second week of May.
Yeah.
I'm 8 weeks. I think I went in first week.
Yeah, you were a week before us, and then he was the week after, I think.
Yeah, you're going to put your face in that mic, dude.
Got you.
Yeah, so every was telling me, I can't hear what
eat
he's
it.
saying. And you don't understand, when you don't speak into the mic, it's on my ass. And then people are like, up my ass, or email me, hey, I can't hear David. Do something with your sound. I'm like, bro, it's not me. It's David.
I got it.
Damn it, David.
Again.
So we're 6
Dave's
weeks.
not
We're
here.
6 weeks into it. My plants are pretty tall. They're, I guess they're between 4 and 6 feet, I think, or 4 and 5 feet. But I had mothers from last year, so I had a little bit of an advantage. So where should we be? Should we be looking at what's sexing? I've heard some people like, I've been seeing posts like, oh, what is this, a male or a female? And I guess we've always talked about the males being not what you want, and the reasons for that. So what are we looking at for that?
Yeah, so if folks went into soil with reg seed, they're gonna start to see the male attributes pop up. They'll start to see some sacks, some balls pop, and you can definitely see. I mean, you'll be able to throw a photo up, and it's pretty drastic.
Yeah.
You can definitely tell a male. Something's going on, and then obviously you want to get those out of there and then just roll with your females.
Now let's talk about that just for real quick, just for people's general information. Why don't you want the male?
Well, because if you leave the male around, it's going to pollinate the females, and then you're going to get seed. You're going to get all your flowers going to be seeded, which in my business is a good thing. But in your business, it's not. You want to smoke it.
Right, right.
You don't want all seeds and seed holes in your flower. So.
Right. What I will say, I can't get these fucking things out of here to save my goddamn life.
They are challenge.
Is there
proof.
two of them?
Two of them in there. It's a goddamn challenge. I don't even know what's going on.
Are they the same thing?
Yeah, no, that one's a 1 gram.
So 2 came in 1?
Yeah, it's a half gram thing. Okay. Well, we'll get it out. There we go.
It was, oh man, look at these cute little things.
Teal pre-roll. We got them out
Little
finally.
dog walkers.
Little dog walkers. So yeah, because you don't want them. They're gonna pollinate. And there's really no. I mean, do they have THC in them? Just curious. They don't.
Do not. No.
Okay.
No,
Well,
I mean
does
the flower
seeds,
will, but
seeds
once that plant's pollinated, man, it's going to be full of seeds, especially if you leave a male out there, and that's definitely not what you're looking for,
Right, right.
Unless you're wanting to create some strains. That's
And
not what
then
you're looking for.
Well, you remember when you're younger, you get that weed and you had to get the paper and flip it and stuff to get all the seeds to roll down. Remember that?
A playing card and a shoebox lid. That's what my parents handed me when I was like 6. Here we go.
Figure it out.
Man,
I used to love
my
watching
buddy had
them.
a parrot. And his parrot, he would give him a nug, and his parrot would pull all the seeds out of it.
No shit.
Really?
Would break his butt up. Shout out to Vinny. Yeah, his parrot would take all the seeds.
And I won't. And now I want to pair it so Vinny can train it to do that. Yeah. How would you even? God damn, that's
no.
amazing.
I mean, they eat seeds, and they don't want the flower, so they're gonna get them
through it,
seeds
yeah.
out of there. So let's get some parrots.
That's crazy.
Token with Topher parrot.
Token. He's sitting on each one of their shoulders. Like, they hold their joint shoulders.
Look at That's funny as
Make
hell.
that happen.
So we've taken care of the sexing, and honestly, that's important. How long into the growth cycle are you going to know? How long into how long?
Yeah, so typically you're going to start to see it when the plant starts to flower. We just had our summer solstice on the 21st. It was the longest day of light. So now our plants are going to start to flower.
Okay.
They're going to start to flower a little bit more each day because the light that we get each day is going to get shorter.
Oh, right.
So now's the time to start pulling in, start putting the flower nutrients on them, start hitting them with a little silica.
Okay.
Gets the branches stronger.
So let me ask you this. I've been using the Old Age Grow,
Yep.
right?
Absolutely.
So should I switch to the flower?
You got
Bloom.
it. Absolutely.
Okay, great, because I just ran out. Like,
Oh, did you
just
really?
Yesterday, I just ran out. I'm like, oh, okay.
What'd you buy? One of the
No, I
little
bought
bottle?
the big one.
Did you buy and you already ran out?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Oh, dude, I've been jacking them up. Juicing them up, bro.
As long as it's
They
not
seem
off,
to be able to take it.
nothing we can do.
You know, they seem to be able to take it. I'm doing like pretty good load in 2 gallons each bucket. You know, like I just, and then not a whole lot. You know, not like
Right.
probably like, I don't know, maybe a quarter cup, half cup, two
It's
gallons
like 2 tablespoons
per gallon. Yeah, some about half cup, quarter cup.
Damn.
So, but yeah, time to switch.
That means we're going to be buying more.
Oh yeah.
How tall are
Oh,
yours
yeah.
right now? Yours are outdoors too.
I have almost an 8-footer
Ooh.
at MDZ
Wow.
that came from seed, and it's ridiculous. It's probably
Jeez.
7.5.
Wow.
I'll cut it down a little bit. It's big. Like if I stand up, put my arm up, it's that tall.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I got a 12-footer right now.
Really? You're outdoor too? You got
Working
outdoor.
on a dick showing contest.
Yeah.
I got a 12-footer.
Hey, I'm not even gonna talk about my 5-footer.
It's a platinum float #1 though, so it's. I wish I could say it was one of my genetics, but it's in-house genetics platinum float. It's fucking badass. Man.
Wow.
It's 12 feet tall. I'll get you some photos.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
send
for
them over
sure.
to
Send some
you
photos.
Is that the
up
one
in
in the 100-gallon?
They're all in hundreds. Yeah. This one just is a monster.
Okay.
I mean, it's 3, 4, 5 feet taller than all the others.
Oh, wow.
I think every one of them is 6 to 7 feet, but this one's hitting 12.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's insane.
Wow, that's great. So
So is it going to be like 19 when it's done?
you're gonna need a ladder.
I think
It'll look like an
Definitely
oak
need a ladder.
tree.
21's the record, I think. So
What is it?
21, I believe.
Is it really?
Is the record.
Chainsaw to
Guinness
cut
Book
the
of World Records.
chainsaw to cut it
How
down.
big's the root on that thing?
So I mean, it's nothing crazy. It's probably
still. So like
2.5 inches right now.
You're gonna have
tennis
to
ball?
saw it down, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, I use a sawzall every year.
Of course.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna have to do that this year.
I will
Yeah.
this year for sure because we did those pots, those fabric pots.
Oh yeah, how
and then we might do that with yours next
See,
year.
that's a good measure of how badass of a grower you are.
'Cause
Like,
what do
hey
you-
man, I had to use a chainsaw on mine. I use pruning shears on mine.
Well, and I think the bigger the pot is, obviously you're going to get a bigger plant, but
Yeah.
you're probably at like 10 or 15 gallons out there. Those pots.
Those are 20 gallons.
Oh no,
Are they
those-
20 gallon?
Those are probably 20, 30.
Okay.
20 to 30.
Okay, there you go. So you're doing
good.
fine.
Yeah. So one of the biggest things too, I was noticing, one of them was more flowering than the other. You know, and I think I would probably be. I was concerned at first, like, oh God, what's going to happen? Is this one just going to screw up? Or, I mean, is that something to worry about, David? If you're out there looking and one of them seems to be like flowering heavily and the other ones aren't, I mean, should you worry? I mean, outdoor growth, the sun's going to do what it's going to do, right?
Yeah, true. I mean, sometimes you're going to see that on certain plants based on genetics. Sometimes you're going to see that on plants that are in a particular part of your yard that aren't getting as much light, like the one that's up against the house. It's not getting as much light.
Right.
So it's going to flower out a little bit more because it's got less light. But it's no big deal. Sometimes the ones that flower, they'll re-veg, then they'll flower. They'll start to really flower now.
Okay.
Those becomes the monsters. You know, they actually can really throw a lot of different bud sites that way.
So I was going to tell you, I have one too. So there's
Yeah,
like we
me
have
as well.
24, and I got one that's got way more buds on it than anything else. And I'm like, and it's shorter too.
It's an MDZ also right in the middle.
Yeah, it's an MDZ. So it's like it could. He, told me that too. It's gonna be a monster.
Okay.
So hopefully, hopefully those all become like big foxtails. and
Yeah.
Hopefully
everybody's happy.
Hopefully they were cloned and saved.
Right. So another thing,
He looked at the camera.
another thing that we're going to go over, we're going to show some footage of this too, but also is the trimming and pruning. Now, I try to be. I mean, you got to be pretty vigilant, but every time I'm out there, I try to make it a habit of just picking leaves off of this plant. Dead leaves off the plant, yellow leaves, anything that's starting to yellow, I'm picking them off because you want to keep the nutrients to the good stuff, right? And then what we also did was we trimmed all the branches in the lower half of the plant and did what we called what you call lollipopping, and we'll show some footage of that here of the lollipopping. What's the method to the madness on that?
Yeah, so essentially this works really well indoors also. So indoors and outdoors, you want to take those lower branches that are not really getting a lot of light. Because what they're going to do is they're just going to steal nutrients from those top colas. So you want to get those.
Yeah, I already don't like them now. Fucking bastards. Get the fuck out of here.
So you get those off, and then eventually, it'll kind of take that look of almost like a palm tree.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
got the long stalk, and you want to get some of those scragglers out of there. They'll steal from you.
Nice. Well, that's
Swiper, no swiping.
right. Well, that was mainly actually makes it it makes sense, and I'm glad you actually showed me. So is it a foot up or how far up you think?
Yeah, so really you have to kind of go by if the branch is actually growing healthy and it's coming up and around the canopy and actually reaching up, you can leave that one.
Okay.
But if it's under all of the rest of the canopy,
Gotcha.
you can chop those off.
Right.
Just kind of clean it up a little bit. I personally indoor
Yeah,
I
because
like
some
to
of
go
them hang out like that. The
Yeah.
ones that are hanging out, get rid of them because they're not coming
Going
up,
up
around
to the sun.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
indoor, I like to go up about a foot. Outdoor, sometimes you can go 2 or 3 feet.
Yeah.
But it really just depends on the structure of the plant.
Some of mine out there look like topiaries. Shit. They're like trimmed up, like sleek, looking like damn.
We gave them the Brazilian.
Yeah,
Oh shit! The Brazilian trimming method.
Right.
Coin it now.
Coin it now. Write that shit down because I'll forget.
Yeah.
Has anyone got a pen?
Lollipopping. So that's lollipopping. Showed you some footage of that. I think it's important too to talk about critters. You know, I mean, I don't know. I know that I don't have any right now, and I'm knock on wood. Doesn't mean I can't get them, but this is definitely the time to be really vigilant on your plants, on critters.
IPM all day, baby. So yeah, I would suggest doing a weekly spray or every 3 days, but a weekly spray at the least of some Lost Coast plant therapy.
Okay.
It's a real nice spray for outdoors, and then you also can do a once
Lost
a week
Coast?
Lost Coast plant therapy spray. It's organic. It's good stuff. Also,
That's the stuff you
Regalia.
sent us, right?
Yeah, for the outdoor.
Lost Coast, right?
Absolutely.
Here. Boom.
Oh, the picture.
Lost
I'll
Coast.
Frame it.
Frame it up there.
All right.
And then as far for botrytis and powdery mildew, I like to use Regalia.
Regalia.
Yeah, because
Boom.
we've got some
Sounds
crazy
regal.
humidity in Missouri.
Yeah,
Regalia.
Regalia. Okay, and that's just like a critter spray.
Yeah, it's basically it's a pathogen. It works against pathogens.
This sounds like scientific.
So it's
Shit.
going to fight mold.
Shit got real.
Real. Yeah.
Hold my beer.
Botrytis will make you hate life.
Really?
It'll rot your buds out from the inside. You won't see it until the end. And with the humidity in Missouri, that's a big issue. So Regalia will keep that PM.
I think I bought buds at a dispensary like that before.
I'm sure you have.
Like
Yeah,
what?
there was no bud in the middle. It's just the shell
They
of
were
bud.
hollow.
Hollow bud.
What strain was that? Hot dog water.
It was hot dog water.
It's the hot dog water strain.
And Hicks, by the way. That's Citrus Sick. I went in there complaining.
Oh, that's what it was. Citrus.
Yeah, Citrus Sick. I went in there and complaining to the guy. I was like, I didn't really like that one. Keep asking for the triple J's. I can't find those either.
can't find them
Fuck
either.
no. Every time I go to Suede, where Austin's from, I'm like, hey, you got those triple J's? Nah, man. Like, shit. Okay.
Those papers you got to roll those. I mean, dude, these things are all.
Oh, you're talking about these bad boys?
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
thing,
So
man.
that's a company. It's actually Vibes. So that is, I think that's a company owned by Burner actually. So it's a Vibes pre-cone or a pre.
It looks like a vibrator. It looks like the
here's
size
a
of
cigarette.
It's not
lighter.
a cone. It looks like an
This
empty
is
cigarette.
This is the Monica Lewinsky version.
Honestly, I think that's the
Blunts.
best way to smoke.
Like, yeah, for sure.
I did not have sex.
That's the way to do it, right
That's
there.
the Bill Clinton right there.
Dude, that is insane.
Yeah, that's a nice looking. That's a pre-roll. This is
what
Street
is that?
Beans.
So
This is one of yours,
Vibes papers.
Vibes,
Vibes.
Yep. And that's the Kali. So the Kali is a 2 grammer.
too.
So it'll hold 2 grams.
That's for rich people.
And that right there,
I got 2 grams to give it.
that's the street.
How much
beans
would
right
that be at a dispensary? You think?
there. That
2
a 2
grams?
grammer, that
$20,
fat,
25.
$35, 40.
Yeah.
Because if that was my product in a dispensary, I would infuse it.
Yeah, you'd have to infuse it.
Yeah, those would be infused all day.
It's a great idea, Dave.
It's a good idea. You
gonna
guys
do
got
that.
that, guys? Hey,
He's
got that?
wicked
Write this, guys.
smart.
Hey, guys,
gonna
write
happen.
this down.
That's a great idea.
I know. This is a nice looking pre-roll.
2 grams.
This is kill. This will kill, motherfucker.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, really.
That'll put you to sleep. That's the street bean strain too. So we named a strain after Street Beans, a local cafe out in Troy.
Mm-hmm.
They're awesome. They support the community hardcore. Their motto is support your local caffeine dealer. So they're hip.
Yeah. Well, I'm against caffeine, bro. So
Yeah.
don't come in here toting that shit.
We gotta get you to relapse on
Don't
that.
come in here.
Don't come in here peddling your drugs, bro.
Exercise and-
Jesus, fuck, man. It's turned into like this whole drug thing now with caffeine involved. Jesus.
No, it was cool. They
No, that's cool. That is really cool.
We did a little seminar there.
Yeah.
They invited like some of their
Yeah.
customers
wow.
to talk about like the benefits of like CBD and
yeah.
THC and all this
No
stuff.
kidding.
We didn't really
Now-
get into the THC thing because we're not really.
don't they do some kind of like CBD tinctures and
Yeah,
stuff
we
like
actually
that?
created that product that they carry. So
Yeah.
they have a full CBD menu.
They got a menu there. We should do an episode there where we're just doing like CBD drinks.
We could.
Like
Oh,
mocktails.
they would be
That'd be
completely
fun.
down with that.
That'd be
Yeah,
kinda
they got
fun.
like little lounge area, like a little. We could set up. Like,
100%.
literally.
Really?
Oh, we totally could.
They just do like a live feed.
We
Yep.
get headphones with the mics on the head. We just sit there and talk.
Yeah, yeah.
You could just
We could
buy
just
us
take
all
this
a set
little
of
board.
those.
We all get in ears with a microphone.
Oh yeah, now we're all dropping big coin on our headphones. Look, see, you hear that, guys?
Dave just looked at me and goes,
you know what?
why don't you bring those? Bring
For
me
all,
a pair.
for
I was
all you
like,
industry
just
people
pick
out
one.
there, know that emails are coming. We need sponsors, apparently. So
I can't hear.
I'm having a hard time hearing. So yeah, I was talking about this the other day. So I have that pre-roll machine that I use, and it does 0.5 grams and 1 gram. So it depends on what. But I've never seen like a 2 gram 2 gram thing like
thing's
that.
sweet.
That's
It's
fatty,
crazy.
ain't it?
Yeah,
That's what I had on Friday. Remember when I?
Reminds me of the Cheech and Chong album. When you bought the Cheech and Chong album back in the
with that
70s,
giant
it came with a giant paper.
Did it really?
Yeah, like that's the most.
Yeah, some people still have it, man. It's
Some
floating around
people,
there.
could you imagine?
They
But
still
most
have
people,
the paper.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
most
What?
people
It's this
used
big,
it.
man.
I guarantee they would.
God,
We got to get
fuck
2
yeah,
pounds of
dude.
weed.
That's
and
the
roll
whole
that.
point.
It's as big as the album.
Yeah, it was as big as the album. It
Yeah,
came
it's
as an
12
insert.
inches.
It was the insert.
Wow.
When my parents went to see them back in the late 70s, and they said that it was at like the Fox Theater or some shit like that, and the people before the show started, the curtain was shut. People were throwing bags of weed on the stage. They were reminding the 70s, right?
Right.
Throwing bags of weed on the stage, and Cheech and Chong came out like, "Hey man, you can't be throwing bags of weed on the stage, or we can't go on," you know. But as they were like telling everybody that, they're like kicking bags of weed under the curtain and shit. And I was like, "No way!" They're like, "Yeah."
So it was part of the
Yeah,
whole. It was part of the
fuck
show.
yeah. No shit, I would be too.
He's kicking it behind.
God, can you imagine Cheech and Chong like, "Hey guys, you can't be doing this, man. It's not cool." I mean, they were just grabbing the shit out and trying to get as much as they could out of there. Fuck yeah.
They were judging the city.
Oh yeah,
by the
wow,
quality.
yeah. Well, St. Louis was a bust. Got a lot of homegrown.
Lots of seeds, man.
Yeah, a lot of seeds.
They grow nothing but males, man.
It's crazy. So back to growing. Anything else we should be watching out for? I mean, it is pretty much on autopilot at this time. It's nature's taking over. Nature's taking your seed and it's sprouted it through the fucking earth, right? And you've nourished it with your water and your nutrients at this point. The sun's done its job, so your plants should be a good 2 to 5 to 10 feet, right? Depending on how you started them.
Yeah, on average. I mean,
You know?
Yeah, they're getting big. You know, they just hit that vigorous growth through veg, so now they're going to start putting weight on.
Yeah.
Honestly, I personally would put time today. The scrog went up on my outdoor.
Oh,
You
yeah.
just scrogged one of yours.
Yes, so we're gonna. That's the next topic. You just hit the nail on the head, David, when you said now it's going to start putting on weight. I noticed some of my branches on some of mine were starting to get heavy, and I knew, and that's what we talked about earlier. We're going to scrog them, and I've learned how to do that today. We did it together. We're going to have some footage of us doing the scrog that we're going to play for you. Okay, guys. Wanted to take you through what we did here, setting up our scrogging net for this is Richard Simmons is the plant we're doing today. I wanted to show you how to set the scrog net up properly. I got David Tucker here doing it. He's got his construction sandals on. We're going to set up 4 stakes here, so you can see us pounding them down. Remember, there's going to be tension on these things at the end, so you want to put some depth on these posts. The idea is that we can stretch the net across these 4 posts and create tension to put some supports in. So David's going to be banging it in. So obviously, I'd be too short for this crap. So, glad I got tall friends. I'm going to start putting these things in. I need to get shorter weed plants, maybe. Maybe like short ones, so I don't have to get ladders and stuff to tend to it. So we got our 4 posts in. Now we're going to go ahead and try to get the net installed here. We're taking a look at the plants and seeing where we wanted to kind of bring our limbs out. Of course, Scott's standing there with his safety glasses on, making sure safety first, guys. So no particles will get in his eyeballs. So we're going to take them. We'll just put it around one of the posts here, just like that. We're going to secure it with. I didn't have zip ties, so we just used some kind of heavy duty twist ties to kind of fasten the net onto the posts. Sounds like we're getting some accolades over there. Like, oh my gosh, look at that. So apparently we're getting some kudos for those 4 posts that we just banged in. So he's gonna go ahead and take it, and we're gonna pin it down there so we can keep it in place. Keep it on the posts. David, the pro, Dungeon of Dank Genetics, making it look easy. Couple twisty ties there. I'm very perplexed by what he's doing. I'm picking it up. I'm picking up what he's putting down. Here we go. Now we're going to do this other corner here. I'm going to stretch it a little bit. Twist tie away. Just like that. Nice job, Topher. It's really cranking it down. Cranking it down. We're going to stretch. Now we're going to stretch it over the plant. But I kind of like what we did here. David had one corner and I took the other, and then we just kind of pulled it to our respective corners. Kind of gently put it over the plant. Kind of put some of the longer ones in where we wanted them. As we brought the net down, kind of over. We don't want to go down too far because you got to remember this plant's going to increase in size and height. So you want to put it just high enough to cover some of your taller ones. Like you see here. I'm going to twist tie that down. David's going to twist it, and I'm doing my corner. And there you got your net is up. And really that's it. So you see how he's kind of the tension there on that post. You want to make sure you kind of get your posts down in there. Now, I would not recommend using these wooden posts that I got. They're crappy. Get metal ones if you can. They've got some good ones. About the same price, so you can get these longer green ones that are nice. At Home Depot is where I got it. So at this point, we're just going to take these branches and we're going to kind of spread it out a little bit. You want to pull them out as far as you can to the ends of your squares, right? So as it's growing, it's going to be kind of growing up in that square. Give everything a little square, and you spread it out, getting that sun down into the middle of the plant, giving it some room, some air to breathe, So, and really, guys, I mean, after you get the net up, it's just about working your plants in. Be gentle with them. The weight will crack the stems and stuff. So just be careful as you're putting them in, and then as it's growing, you can go ahead and as you can see, David's going to go ahead and twist tie the one in the center. All right, that's going to be our center cola, our top cola. So as they grow out, if you need to twist tie them down to your netting, you can. Certainly, anywhere you can relieve the weight, because wind, as those buds get big, will snap it off. So make sure you're in there and you're tending to your plant. Make sure your leaves are off, all that stuff. Keep them stretched out. And then as they grow, they'll grow right in there. So pretty much that's it on using the scrog net. To trellis it up. So there you go. I think that's a job well done, guys. Way to go. Showing you how to set it up. But overall, this is to take the weight. And this is going to really help the buds take stress off of them, let them get big and fat. And, that's pretty much the way to do it, right?
Yeah, because once you put some weight on a plant and then a storm rolls through, it'll snap that branch right in half.
Yeah.
So you really want to start worrying about putting some trellising up, scrogging these things out, at least giving them a netting or some type of structure to where they can lean on,
right? So
that when we do get some high winds, they're not just going to snap.
Yeah,
because that's a horrible feeling. I've been through that many times.
Mm-hmm. So one of the things when we put the netting on, we kind of put it. I mean, we didn't put it all the way down, right? We left some room, and we kind of wanted to leave some room. We can raise that net if we need to.
Yeah, I would leave that. The plant's going to grow into that net.
Okay.
You can always add another one.
Okay.
So what we're doing isn't necessarily scrogging. It's more trellising.
Trellising. Okay.
Scrogging is where you put the net up, and then you start bending those tops down.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that once that vertical branch is bent down through some netting,
right,
then all of your nodes are then going to grow towards the light or the sun.
Okay.
So that one branch will now give you 6 or 8 or 10. And that's something you can.
Shit, man! Why aren't we doing
try
that?
that outside also.
Right.
You can try that out on. I would try it on one of them. Absolutely.
Have you ever tried that?
Oh,
What?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you've done it where he's weaved it and had those all pop up.
Yeah, I did a 4x2 with one HLG 350, and I would put one plant in there.
You did HD 350.
I
went to the 400.
I did the 355.
I went to the 400. I wasn't
But he knows his
around.
shit too. I couldn't tell you what lights are in my room.
I don't even know what
Go
that
ahead.
is. I don't even know what it is.
HLG 350, 4x2 tent. And straight up, one plant. I typically would rotate my mom in there once I was done cloning her out.
Damn, dude. No. Okay.
Exactly. So mom is going to be your main plant that you take all your clones off of.
Yeah.
So I would throw her in there, scrog her out, and I'd get close to a pound, just in that one plant.
No way.
Because I'm scrogging it so heavily.
Okay.
Just nothing but tops, nothing but buds.
So what we actually did today is more trellising. So I want to make sure that we make that distinction, because honestly, I didn't know until he just fucking said it. So now that we got that out of the way. So that's great. So let me ask you
Now
this.
that he's made us look stupid.
Hey.
It's a scrog. That's what we
Yeah,
use.
we called it scrogging
We were
all
calling it
day, all day. Text to him back and forth. Hey, bro, we're gonna scrog my plants. He's like, yeah, cool, dude. No problem. Get out there. We're telling scrog. We get on the
the
videos. Like, that's
term
really
really
not true,
is.
bro. It's not scrogging. It's trellising.
Can you do right here? Put scrogging. Give
Yeah.
the definition, and then trellising. Put the definition.
Yeah,
or
this
a picture.
is bullshit. I just feel like I was set up. So it's trellising that we're doing now. It's trellising all of a sudden. But
I called it scrogging too. But
no, I cannot. No longer. I'm not. The words never coming out of my mouth again.
Scrogging?
I've been misled. So on the trellising, as they're coming up through the netting, the scrog net that we're using for trellising, can you tie it to them? Do you need to tie it to as the
You most
branches
certainly
grow,
can.
just to kind of keep them? And it also, like you had mentioned out there too, we're spreading the branches out so the sun kind of gets down in the middle of them too, right?
Exactly. So that net that's used is just a bunch of 8-inch squares, right? So you're able to open that canopy up and bend the branches out into the outer perimeter of the squares.
Yeah.
So that instead of it growing straight up and the light not getting much penetration, I mean, we're outdoors, the sun's going to do its job, but you can give it some help. You can open up those branches and kind of lean them outwards so that light can penetrate the canopy better.
That sounds great.
Grows more weed, baby.
That's what I really
it
like.
sounds good. Like I mean, if you think about what he just said,
Yeah.
I mean, like that has to make sense.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's definitely a purpose to it. But I can't. You wouldn't do that at my place.
No, those grows.
I said that earlier.
Why
Why wouldn't you do it to that?
Well, they're so spread out. You're going to want to build basically a trellis. You're going to do what I did today. You're going to build trellis with wire. You're gonna go
based
from
off my
T-post to
T-post.
T-post.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you're going to you're basically going to make your own grid, but that grid's going to be above our heads.
Yeah.
Because those plants are going to be that big.
It's gonna be massive, dude. It's gonna be on ladders for sure. Or you know what? Let's get jetpacks, guys. Back
We'll
to
float around.
well,
Just
you know
burn
what?
half the crop. Well,
All
We're
you
gonna have to
sponsors
get on
out
Jen's
there,
shoulders,
yeah.
so they're just going to walk around with scissors.
Yeah, all you potential sponsors out there, you hear how expensive our show is becoming. So
We need
jetpacks.
ladders.
We need jetpacks to get our trellis netting.
what was
up
the other
there.
thing we needed? Jetpacks
And in-ears.
in-ears. That's it. All right.
Yep. And then we
Start a
want to get
list.
those microphone things that go like
And
this.
while you're at it, you might as well send us 10 Mason Brights.
Yeah, I need
You know
a
what
Mason
mean?
Bright. I like those Mason
why
Brights.
not?
I use those for my can of blisters.
We'll roll a couple of those ones up. It'll be a party, man.
What I really like about the scrogging net is that you can use it's dual purpose. You can use it for trellising too. You know, so I
They
think
should
that's
use
cool.
that as a selling.
I think that's cool. That they should say, hey, or used as trellising. You know, netting.
Yeah.
I wouldn't give them any ideas.
I wonder if I would have typed into Amazon trellis netting
if
I
the
would
same thing would have come up.
right with
It might have, I
with a
mean.
different tag on it said trellising.
Same company,
Stupid.
same price. It was
It's
$2
$8
more. Totally.
Anything? So let me ask you this: what can people expect? For some first time growers, I know the first year I did some outdoor stuff last. Well, every year I do. I think this, but the first year especially, I was like, okay, when do I harvest? You know, when's these buds going to be ready? You know, and it takes a while, right?
Yeah.
So
Outdoor definitely does.
you think like, well, it's September. I should be, you know, everything else is going away. Tomatoes and cucumber, everything's gone. And you're like, I should be ready to harvest, but that's actually not the case.
Yeah,
you know,
so
I mean, you're going late.
It's going to depend on the placement of your yard. If you've grown there multiple times, you already know about when you're going to harvest. Me personally, I take it the second week of October typically, and it's all going to be strain dependent. It depends on if you've got a lot of indicas out there, if you've got some sativas or some sativa forward hybrid strains that are used to having a longer flowering day.
Okay.
So typically, first to second week into October. I mean, I've seen some plants go all the way to November 1st.
Wow.
You know, you just hope that you don't get a heavy frost and
Right.
it, forces you to cut it that day.
Right.
But I'm October 1st, second week of October is typically where I'm at.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think that's like that's where I think the latest I was the second week of October. I was like, oh God, man, is it ready yet?
That's about where we are.
And if you really, really, really want to be sure, get yourself a jeweler's loop off of Amazon.
These
I
are
promise there's
badass.
only one word. It's just jeweler's loop. It don't say scrog.
Yeah, it's not a scrogging net that acts as a jeweler's
It won't
loop.
be confusing. And you can actually look at the trichomes on the plant, and once they're cloudy to amber, you can harvest it.
Yeah.
If they're still clear, you need to give it some more time.
I think that's what I've always heard, that once they start to turn amber, like the majority of them are amber, I mean, you start to decline in your THC potency.
Yeah, so it converts. So you're going to get a more couch lock, a more,
CBN
higher
of-
in those type
yeah.
of cannabinoids. And if you want to stay a little glassy, a little cloudy, they say they can be a little more of a head high, kind of smoke a little bit more like a sativa type. But I personally like cloudy, 20% amber.
Okay.
That's what I go for.
Okay. Right. Well, great. I don't know. I mean,
I never know when to do it. He taught me this whole thing, and
Yeah,
I'm
we-
looking, and I call him. I'm like, I'm just not sure. I can't decide. If
I know,
they're
last
half
year-
and half, or
last year I sent you
drives me
pictures.
nuts.
I
And
sent
he'll
you
go,
pictures.
oh yeah, they're
Yeah, the pictures are rough.
Yeah.
When someone's like, "Here, I took a picture of it," I'm like,
I can't
know
really
what
tell.
I'm
You
looking
sent
at.
me one bud. You know, what is it? What's your plant look like overall? You know?
Well, this is the top cola, man. It's the best one.
Yeah.
The rest of them might not look like that.
Yeah.
No,
the
not
rest
at
of them
all.
are just
It's a
brown
really
because
cool.
they've been turning for weeks.
They're CBN.
Yeah. So,
Oh,
so with it, with you know, and with Missouri, you never know what to expect. I mean, you could get a frost first fucking week of October, and if it does
You can
frost,
get it in September.
We could
if
get
you
a
do
frost
get
tomorrow.
if you do get a frost, no shit, rare August frost hit St. Louis.
Rare.
meteorologist like, we didn't see this coming. They're like, yeah, we know.
Yeah, the barometric pressure, something.
We
You
get
know, they'll explain it with science. And I'm like, oh no way.
That's fucking hysterical.
I was gonna ask something on that shit too. Hold on. Okay, so if we start getting later in the season, I mean, say fucking September, last week of September, they're like, okay, guys, guess what? We're fucked. It's gonna be, you know, frost. Would you cut your plant?
Depends on how big it is. If it's small enough, I'd cover it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
And let it continue
Won't
to.
be able to do that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. So
No shit.
Man, you know what? That's a game. I would almost say cut them.
I mean, October. Say October. First week October. You're maybe
yeah.
a week or
If
two
you're-
from actually harvesting, and you got a frost coming. What? I mean, are you going to be cutting it down?
I mean, it's Missouri too. They may say frost is coming and it's 70. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
no shit.
it's
Fuck.
tricky to go off of. It's tricky to go off the weather, but I would
Missouri, we curse
I would
you.
cover them things.
Yeah.
As much as I could.
What are you covering with? Just a tarp?
Dude, you know what? You know what?
You can hit them with
Hey,
a tarp if it's trash can, if
Bro,
it's small enough.
we
or-
just have a big party at your house and like put 24 bonfires up. We got bonfire each one of them. You know, it was run around each. We'll put beer coolers at each one of them and just do like this. Make it a game. We just run to each campfire, grab a beer.
not try to not to fall into the fire.
Yeah. Well, that's
We're gonna run from fire to
yeah.
fire.
4
Burn any
a.m.
more bugs?
Yeah.
You criminal.
4 a.m. We'll go to like motorized like carts or something, so we don't
Local
fall.
men built bonfires at all of their marijuana
I
plants.
still think about that bug all the time you tried to burn at the house.
Oh, man.
On the tiki.
Yeah,
thing.
that was the
thing's
Junebug
laced.
massacre. The Junebug massacre.
I'm surprised
I
Pete
could hear him
hasn't reached out.
screaming.
You did bring some really great stuff. You guys do some really great concentrates too, man.
That's like grape rock candy right
This
there.
is grape rock candy, which is really
resin right there.
super good.
Yeah, it turned out awesome.
resin. Got that live resin. Let's see that live resin. Yeah, live resin. And then I had this earlier. This was the what is that?
Strawberry wine cooler.
Strawberry wine cooler. That shit looks great. Smells good.
That's more of a crumble, right?
Yeah, that one's more of a crumble. That one turned out real nice too.
Got a good color. It's light.
Yeah, that smelled like grape rock candy though. It is insane. I get cucumber, but everyone else is like, oh, I get candy.
Cucumber. And then this was
I get cucumber.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although, you know, I know what you're talking about, the candy thing.
this was Bad Decision, right? Is that what this was?
Yeah, so that's the
I bet
dungeon-
it was.
So that's
it
the bad
was.
decisions. That's a lit farms genetics that we pheno hunted and found a phenomenal keeper, and that is the bad decisions dungeon cut.
Yeah, this fucking smells danky. Danky.
Got the perps coming through.
Perps and
it in here?
terps.
it in
Yeah,
there?
that's in there, buddy. It says bad decision right on there. Let's see what else we got here. We got plenty of stickers. Make sure. Here's what I also want to do too. You got these cards here. Let's talk about this too. What is this? Searching
so
for
this
growers. I want to know what this
basically
is. Talk to me.
little competition that we've thrown out for people who buy our genetics online or get them at a show. So if you happen to grow out one of our genetics and enter it into one of your local grow comps and you place, if you get first place, we're going to give you $2,500.
What?
If you get second place, we're going to give you $1,000. If you get third place, you're going to get $500. Only rules is you have to keep cuts of the winning entry.
Okay.
So you got to take clones of that plant.
So that you can get the clones.
Absolutely.
That's
and then
great.
we will work with the grower and we will name that strain after him.
So grow with your gear, enter competition. So you get, here's what you guys got to do. Go to dungeonsofdankgenetics.com. Okay. Go look up their genetics, get some seeds from them, grow them, make sure you keep your clippings. If you get first place, $2,500. That's easy money for probably some of you guys out there, I would think.
Yeah.
And second place, $1,000, and third place,
people that
$500.
like to grow and
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm gonna get this up on our Instagram too, so that people can know how to get on that, and we'll make sure all the information is up there on that. You know what? I'm always out in the public. If you find me, come after me. I got some Dungeons of the Dank stickers to give away, which is pretty cool. You guys always bring some great stuff here too. Talk about this stuff here.
Which one?
This one here.
Oh, so that's our street beans. That's what's in that fatty Bobatty right there, that 2 gram revive. So this is the street bean. So this is our platinum blue balls crossed with our blue meanies.
Wow.
And it is it's one of my favorites right now. The MDZ, the street beans, those are kind of some of the front runners that I'm liking so far out of our new Fem line.
That jar just kicks ass.
Yeah, those things are great.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, we've been rocking those jars since almost a year now. As soon as they came out, we grabbed some up.
Yeah, the little magnifying glass in there, you can see all the
I have one.
trichomes and shit.
I gotta
It's-
always use it.
It's fucking
I
ridiculous.
gotta always use it.
Makes everything look like, whoa, man.
Well, we go to the shows and sell our seeds, and there's a lot of folks come up, a lot of older folks, and they're like just in heaven when they get that magnifying glass.
Well, I'm going to tell you, some dispensaries have gone away with the smelling and the show and tell, and I get the reasonings. Look, if I walk into a dispensary and hey, look at the street beans, and you're looking at it and go, fucking A, man, and you're smelling it and all that shit. But then you walk out, they sell you a package, and you walk out with a sealed package, and you get home, and it's not that. It's just it's like a little bitty. So that's commonplace, right? It's not like they're packaging up, which they do in Amsterdam, by the way. They actually pick the nug right out of the fucking thing and put it in the bag for you on the scale in front of you. So that's the way I think it should be done. If they're doing it that way, that's cool. But they don't really do that. So a lot have gone away with it. But I like it. I like the presentation. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, there's a lot of regulations against that, unfortunately. But hopefully we can see some of those change with the micro licenses coming up, and maybe we'll be able to do that.
Amen.
Whenever we get ours, speak it into existence. Whenever we get our micros.
We got one more thing to talk about. I was going to talk about this Cardinal thing you got coming up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's talk about that.
So we teamed up with Chris Zumwalt. He's actually performing at Busch Stadium in August. Get that date pulled up here. So he's performing at the Boots at Busch competition, his band.
Yeah.
So we said, hey, let's team up, man. Let's help you sell some tickets. So we posted his tickets on our website.
That's August 15th, right?
Perfect, yeah.
And then it's $38 a ticket. And you get it's $38 a ticket, and you get a free shirt, which you brought me one of these shirts.
Here, I got one.
That's cool. Christian Malt shirts.
Ticket and a shirt for
And-
$38.
Yep, and you get to go to the game and be a part of the action and hang out with everybody.
And see the game.
Yeah, man, stoners is like, why are we paying this much for beers, man? We could have a sit-in. So that's gonna be really cool, guys. We should probably, get word out about that. Make sure we can have a good showing for Chris Zumwalt. Chris Zumwalt's a great artist, man. I love hearing him play. He's got some great original stuff. We've played him on the radio as well.
Sorry.
So
That was harder than I thought.
Did you get it? Yeah,
I
look at
had
the
to take
shirt.
my headphones out, and then it fucked me up.
There you go.
It's all good. We got this covered.
Yeah, it's testicles.
We're real, right?
Look at that.
So if you get the extra large, you'll get Chris's logo
Here,
on the
bring it over
front
here. Let me
and
see it.
Dungeon and Dank on the rear.
Let me see it.
And the other two sizes will have the DOD logo on the front
Okay.
and Chris's logo on the rear.
Yeah, bam, and then you got.
Yeah,
that's
Chris
good.
is great.
That's good. He's
really-
good.
I really
Awesome
like
dude,
Chris.
man. He smokes weed too. I like him. Cool dude.
He's got some great new songs too.
Yeah, man. Well, like I said, we played some of that on the radio, man. I mean, guys, no slouch. He's gotten some gigs, man. Bush Stadium is gonna be a great show. I do have some Mofo 20 news.
Here we
You
go.
guys are ready for that? Well,
Lay it on me.
here we go. Restricted Missouri marijuana packaging requirements set to take effect. Yeah, well, it's been a big pain in the ass for Missouri. Basically, they need plain packaging. The gist of this, effective on July 30th, the packaging requirements, part of Missouri's new cannabis regulation rules, go into effect. So it's going to suck. They don't want them kids, kid-friendly, packaging. So a lot of people are trying to scramble around to fix that. We talked about it a little bit, but it's revving up because July 30th is coming. I know that MoCan trade, Missouri cannabis trade industry is not happy about it. They're trying to figure out, because a lot of these companies have bought a lot of packaging. So some people have budgeted their packaging. These are big marketing budgets that went into the packaging in the first place to keep them where they were. Now they're getting more restrictive, and they're like, "Hey, man, we've spent a lot of money on this, and how are we going to recoup this money?" So it's kind of a thing going on. So we're going to keep an eye on that. Keep you posted. I'm sure it's going to happen. Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services recently said the approach ensures that health and safety information is the focus of the packaging. So we'll see what happens. Wanted to give you this, where you can't use marijuana in Springfield. Springfield, Missouri, Police Department is reminding the public about the city's ordinances regarding marijuana use. Recently, the Springfield City Council passed an ordinance prohibiting the public consumption of marijuana. Section 78 to 262 of Springfield's Code of Ordinances states that no person shall consume marijuana in public place or any vehicle parked in a public place. No person shall
even in your car?
Not even in your car. No person shall consume marijuana in such a manner that marijuana smoke or odor exits a residence or non-public place where consumed of marijuana is otherwise lawful. So if you're at your house and a big plume of smoke goes out your window, that's illegal. Wow. In a multifamily residence or similar dwelling, marijuana should not be consumed in any common area. So they've really cracked down. They're reminding people it's a $100 fine, guys. So, you want to pay the $100, go for it.
So your ounce may cost you an extra $100.
Yeah.
Dude, that is such horseshit.
I know, man. I know. This is crazy.
I thought at first you were going to say that Springfield wasn't allowing marijuana at all.
Oh, that would be
I was
crazy.
like, oh man.
Good luck with that.
Here we go,
Springfield.
Footloose. We're gonna have Jeff Spicoli go down to the city clerk and be like,
Stop
yo,
this,
bro,
Hey, man.
it's our time to smoke, man.
Man. Take his shoes off and his shirt.
and starts
Yeah,
dancing,
he starts
and then
dancing.
fixes it all.
I got this.
God, that's
Florida
fucking
Attorney
great.
General Ashley Moody, a DeSantis ally, wants to stop pot legalization from going before voters in 2024. So the petition, they got a petition signed, but the Supreme Court needed to okay it or whatever, that everything was clear for the voter, and that was her fight. That was what Ashley Moody said was the case, that it wasn't clear, and it shouldn't be on the ballot. They've been trying to bat this down. I'm gonna say it's weird because DeSantis, if he is a presidential candidate, I mean, they're pretty much saying he's going to be on the ballot with cannabis. It's going to be in his time, and he's really not for the legalization of pot. But so when you read the story, I'll read a little bit of this. Kind of weird. The petition date comes less than a week after DeSantis, a 2024 candidate for president, said he did not support decriminalizing cannabis nationally, citing concerns about young people accessing the drug. But it
They're
also
not now.
yeah.
AKA, I'm friends with the tobacco industry.
Right. Okay, but check this out. But it also came the same day that DeSantis signed a bill into law to allow people to access medical marijuana through telehealth. Alongside the law is another provision that would help more black farmers receive licenses to participate in the cannabis industry. So it's like, well, he doesn't want to decriminalize it, but he's okay with these people using telehealth. I wonder if DeSantis has, financial gain with telehealth. Like it would suck if it got decriminalized because then it would ruin his.
I wouldn't put it past him.
I mean, I think that's kind of why some of the federal stuff doesn't happen because there's money into not making it. And alone with the taxes, there's squads and people trying to, well, we should figure out if it's going to be okay if we do it. And then you got all this money being paid, salaries of people doing the studies and research of this shit, and the impact and how to do it and all this other crap. So there's more money into keeping it, where it's at. But apparently Biden is supposed to be voting on the Schedule 1 thing soon, or we'll see. You always hear this shit. Every time I fucking turn around and hear some movement on the federal pot scenario, and nothing fucking moves.
It needs to happen.
Well, Big Alcohol supposedly just got behind lobbying for cannabis legally, federally.
Oh, okay.
So
That's
I heard
really
that through
great.
the grapevine.
Well,
So
that's great.
That would be
Yeah,
nice.
because they want to make like a kick-ass beer
Well, they're
with weed
probably
in it.
primed. I mean, they're primed up for it. They've probably got it already figured out because they've seen the landslide, and then they've also seen, what we've seen, the soluble stuff come a long way, where they can actually make these drinks better now. So they probably ass deep in R&D, ready to roll it out. So
I wouldn't doubt it.
No,
yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it at all.
He's
You
gonna
got the
make
money.
a beer
and-
that
That's a
identifies as a
strategic move.
cannabis
Yeah.
drink.
right?
The other thing, we do have a new intern with us. His name is Wyatt Harris. He's over here hanging out.
Wyatt.
He was with us episode, I think, 3 or 4. 3. Yeah, he was
that
episode
was the
3.
one I was not on.
Yeah.
You didn't see his tattoo? Episode 3 tattoo?
Yeah, he's got a tattoo on his arm.
As long as it's not a tramp stamp, you're good.
Yeah, apparently Wyatt comes from a thick video and movie production background in his old Oklahoma days.
That's
So
awesome.
Back when he was in Oklahoma. Recently had a birthday, and he got
Happy
a
B-Day.
ton of dabs. I'll show you a picture
Happy birthday.
of our lunch with dabs right here. Boop.
What's
It
your
was,
favorite color?
amazing. Green. He likes green. He likes the color green.
Welcome.
So he's pretty studious. He's minding the cameras, and he's kind of watching over, making sure we don't fuck shit up. Because God knows I have done a lot of that.
We forgot to hit record.
Yeah, no
our
shit.
our first episode.
Oh, shit, we did it
I guess
twice.
the first episode.
Yeah.
To hit record.
Was it the first episode?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I think it was. Wow. This is number 8, so that's
Yeah,
right on time.
Little does everyone know, we filmed it 3 times that night.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
We're like,
So
we got through the
stupid.
whole thing. By the last time, we're like, yeah, what is that? Oh, yeah.
Did we end up doing it 3 times?
We did.
Yeah.
Okay, because I forgot. It was forgot to press record the first one.
Yep. And then
And then
camera
the second
stopped.
one he wasn't. He
Camera
wasn't
stopped,
into.
And then he jumped on the laptop to see the footage. He's like, "There's nothing here."
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
He's like, "Holy shit, we got to do it again." they
was,
kept getting shorter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why you don't see any pre-rolls smoked.
Right.
They were all
Right.
smoked in the first episode.
No shit.
1 and
We're like,
2.
well, we got a butt of a pre-roll here, guys. This is going to be the rest of that one, and then we got another one the rest of this one.
We're
So,
recording a damn podcast and don't press record.
ridiculous. Well, we're pros. And we're both in the radio professionally, too, so that's even better. We're just idiots. I don't even know why they hired us.
Oh shit, that's funny. Sorry.
Well, that's more Mofo 20 news for you guys. I don't have any more news except that, I would like to see the feds do some more stuff.
Yep, it's time.
Banking Act.
Move it up.
Something. I mean, it's really.
Take the
I did read an article, Insider Magazine, or it was Ganja Insider, something about only 24.8% of cannabis businesses are actually profitable. And
Really?
that's really, and then following that was MJindustry.com or something. It was an insider.
24.8?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because they keep changing packaging after they spent 20 grand on
Right,
it. They're
I
like, hey,
know.
let's change the packaging. You can only do a color.
Yeah.
Two
Well,
words.
That's part
Yeah.
of it. Well, and the
I mean,
taxes too,
doesn't
man. When you're
help.
paying 40% taxes, you're
Taxes
killing
too.
it. You know, you're trying. You have to provide the same services as every other business in the United States. That means 401ks, dental insurance, and all the benefits and vacations and all of those things. But you can't pay taxes like the rest of the companies in the United States. And I think that's a very harsh penalty for something that the state has legalized, you know. So that's just my fucking opinion on it, but we'll see what happens. You know.
Yeah, I think
Decent
we all
opinion.
agree.
Shout out to a couple people. Obviously, Teal Cannabis. Been doing your stirrables. I had them in my coffee this morning. It was
Nice.
a great way to start my morning. Your pre-rolls are staying pretty good, man. Since Cannabis, I had some Since Cannabis earlier this week, man. It was really good. So, my boys over at Sense.
Yeah.
Until next week, which we're gonna have somebody next week. You know who I do got lined up.
Are we?
Yeah, I do got someone coming in lined up that I'm super excited about. He's gonna be. I think we're gonna film the
What's his name rhyme
show.
with?
I can't tell you, but it's gonna come up.
What's the first
on the
name?
9th, and it's gonna be super fun. He said he's gonna come in a Speedo, so I'm hoping that he really does do that.
I think you did tell me
I hope
this.
he does come in a Speedo. I dared him to. I said, yeah, please do. So, you know.
Please don't.
Hey, that's our show. Thank you for tuning in with Toking with Topher. Thank you, Wyatt, for handling business. Thank you, David Tucker, for bringing the goodies and talking to us about how to finish off our grow. Remember, like, share, and comment. That's the best thing you can do for us. We are on Spotify. We are on YouTube. We are on Amazon Music. We are on freaking, you name it. You know, find us. We're everywhere. Jupiter, up because, well, I am high. I feel as high as Jupiter. Shout out to Barry Perino, Barry the Needle. Thank you for giving me my Midnight Topher strain tattooed on me just this last
Nice.
week. So, until next time.